Hello everyone, and welcome to our example game video for Champions of Miyandir. I'm Alvin, the designer and game director for Champions, and I'm here with Nick. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Nick.
Hey everybody, I am Nick. I am the artist for Champions of Miyandir. All these cards you see here I drew, and we're excited to play a practice game for you all.
Awesome! So in this video, we assume you've already watched our how to play video. If you haven't, we suggest watching that first. Link to that is in the video description. The purpose of this video is to showcase the basic game mechanics covered in the how to play video, as well as to showcase a few other mechanics that weren't covered. Now, to play the game, we'll be using the Champions of Miyandir browser app. This is a free app that enables you to connect and play the game with friends through a web browser. Links to it, and our tutorial on how to use it, are in the video description. So for this game, Nick and I are both using the same pre-constructed tutorial deck. The tutorial deck is built specifically to teach new players how to play the game. The deck features Eldrian, famed explorer, as its champion. Eldrian's second ability says, when you end your turn, score 1 point for each other denizen you control that didn't enter your active zone this turn. So the way Eldrian wants you to play is to fill your board with tons of denizens and keep them around for at least one turn cycle. Then, once he's in play, he'll score you that many points when you end your turn. Okay, I think that does it for the intros. We've already taken our mulligans prior to recording, and as you can see, I've produced myself a supply cash token since I'll be going second. So Nick, when you're ready, go ahead and begin the game.
All right, when one starts, when I gain my gold, I will begin by freeing up some space in my hand by dropping a location, this wooded landscape. It aligns me to green and does nothing else.
Ooh, nice and simple.
All right, now I will use my free draw action for the turn. We will spend 1 gold to play the first denizen of the game, Killer Bees. A
Ah,
1/1 with Deadly. Deadly is a keyword ability that says that if it ever deals any damage to another denizen, that denizen is destroyed.
that's right. So even though it's only got 1 power, it can pretty much take out anything as long as it connects.
Mhm. And to shore it up, I'm going to play another location, Statue of the Fierce Hunter. It has an arrival ability that I can now use, that since it entered this turn, I will use it to give a denizen +0/+1. So my keys here are a little bit bolstered.
Very nice. So the ability that Nick just used, Arrival, is a conditional ability, and it says you can use this ability as long as this entered play this turn. And so it did enter play this turn, and so he has used that ability to bolster the bees, as he said.
Yeah, yeah. All right, and another turn action I'm going to do this turn is to abandon a location, which means to take one of your choice, put it in the active zone, and then draw a card.
Very nice. All right, so this action was not talked about in the how to play video, but it is a turn action that you can do once per turn. And so Nick has taken that turn action to get rid of one of his locations because sometimes when you have too many, it becomes redundant. So being able to remove them to draw cards is a good thing to do.
Absolutely. But with my gold run out and my denizen just having a come into play, it cannot make any attacks or anything. So I will pass the turn to Alvin.
All right, that was a very good first turn. Okay, so the first turn action you do on each of your turns is begin your turn. So I'll go ahead and do that, and that will get me 1 gold. And let's see, what do I want to do for my first turn play? So I'll go ahead and play this location first, Verdant Path. And Verdant Path has the second ability, Arrival. Look at the top card of your deck, and I may put it on the bottom of my deck. And again, we just discussed how Arrival is a conditional ability that's fulfilled as long as the card that it's on has entered play this turn. So I'll go ahead and activate that now. Taking a look at the top 1 card of my deck, and I will choose to put that on the bottom. All right, and then I will go ahead and take my free draw action now, since I've got a spot open in my hand. Interesting, interesting. So here's what I'm going to do. For 1 gold, I'm going to go ahead and play this card here, Restraining Order. Now, Restraining Order is an item, and for 1 gold, I can use its activated ability to banish a hostile denizen. Now, when a denizen attacks, it becomes hostile, and it will remain hostile until it leaves play. And so there is a little bit of a downside to attacking in this game, in that certain cards can punish it. So if Nick does decide to attack any of my things, his killer bees will become hostile in the process, making it vulnerable to things like Restraining Order. So it is a choice that he will have to make, whether or not he wants to do that. Okay, and then I will go ahead and play another location. I will go ahead and also play a wooded landscape. And I'll go ahead and abandon this location to get another draw. All right, perfect. I think that's good for this turn. I will go ahead and end the turn, pass it over to you, Nick.
Nice. Second turn for me gets 2 gold. I also have a play before I draw my free card for the turn, which is a Verdant Path, like Alvin played last turn. I'll use its arrival to look at the top card of my deck.
Lovely.
Decide if I want that. I think I do not. Let us put that on the bottom of the deck so that we may improve our draw chance to getting something else. So we'll take our free draw for the turn, and that's what we wanted. I'll play this Grey Wolf. Grey Wolf is a denizen, not a very complicated one, no abilities, but it has quite a bit of power and health.
Yes, it's quite beefy.
Yeah. I could make an attack with the Killer Bees, but that restraining over there is definitely sort of going to punish me if I do. So I believe we'll just stay neutral over here. But I can do an abandon, so I will. Let's abandon the path we just played. Put it into the inactive zone to draw a card. All right. And that seems like a good turn to me. Let's pass it back to Alvin.
Very nice. So yeah, you get one abandon a turn. You might as well use it, right? So I'll go ahead and begin my turn, getting myself 2 gold. And I begin the turn. I think the first turn action I'll use this time is the free draw action. All right. So you got this now, which is kind of scary. So I think what I'll do then is I'll just try to play a bunch of denizens to the board. So I'll spend 2 gold to play this card, the Diligent Farmer. All right, so now I'm going to showcase another turn action that wasn't covered in the how to play video. It is similar to Abandon, except it is done with items instead. So once per turn, you can sell an item. And what that means is putting an item into your inactive zone and then gaining gold equal to its gold value. So I'm going to go ahead and sell my restraining order to gain myself 1 gold. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend that 1 gold to activate supply cache. So what that's going to do is it's now going to gain me 2 gold and draw me a card, and then I lose the supply cache. All right, so now I got 2 gold to work with. I will use 1 of that gold to activate Diligent Farmer's ability, spending 1, gaining 2. So that effectively accelerates me by 1. And then I'll go ahead and play with 2 gold, another Diligent Farmer. And just like the first, I'm going to go ahead and activate his ability, spending 1 gold, gaining 2. So now I have 2 gold again. And I will use 1 of that gold to play this card here, the Schedule Book. So Schedule Book is another item, and this item has an ability that says I can pay 1 to look at the top 2 cards in my deck and then put them on the top or bottom in any order. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Grand Fish Market. And Grand Fish Market has an arrival ability that says draw a card if you control 2 or more denizens aligned to green, which I do. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm first going to activate the Schedule Book's ability so that I can look at the top 2 cards. And, you know what? I think I don't want either of these, so I'm going to put both of these on the bottom of my deck. And then now I'm going to go ahead and activate Grand Fish Market's arrival ability to draw a card. All right. And if only I could sell another item and keep the train going, but unfortunately you can only sell 1 item a turn. So I'm going to go ahead and play another location here. Statue of the Fierce Hunter, which you've seen Nick play. All right, and I'm going to activate its arrival ability to give this Diligent Farmer 1 health. And then I'm immediately going to use my Abandon for the turn to abandon it to draw a card. All right, a pretty nice and productive turn, I think. I will pass it over to you.
All right, so my third turn, I gain 3 gold. I have a space in my hand, so I'll just draw a card. Interesting. 2 can play at the fish market, so I'll play my own. And since I also control 2 denizens aligned to green, I will draw a card.
Very nice.
And we're just gonna run that back because what's better than 1 but 2? We'll do it again. Another fish market, use its arrival, draw another card.
Double fish market all the way.
Absolutely. And I'll play another location down here.
Wow.
I'm going to abandon a redundant fish market because you only need 1 to shop in, so put it to the inactive zone. Draw a card.
All right, so you've drawn 1,000,000 cards.
Sure have. All right, and then for 3 gold, I'm going to play Treasure Hunter.
Wow.
So now the Treasure Hunter is in play. He has a keyword ability called Expedition that will gain me 2, but I may only activate it if I have put a location into play, which I have. Many, to be actual. So I'll gain 2 gold. We're traveling the world here. And with that 2 gold, I will use 1 to play yet another Killer Bee, and 1 to play my own Restraining Order.
Oh no.
All right, so I think I'm gonna leave my bees, which are very flexible. They can remove sort of anything of any size. I'm not going to make an attack with them, but I will make an attack with my wolf.
Oh
Onto one of
man,
your
all
diligent
right.
farmers. Wolf found its way into the farm fields, just eating up all the crops, scaring away your farmer.
Farmers hate wolves, man. What
So
can I say? So I will deal 1 damage to you on the way out, though. So
that's right. So now my wolf is marked with 2 health now for having fought that farmer.
and it is now hostile.
True. I'm going to add a marker to it, which is a hostile marker for clarity's sake for the future.
Yeah. So now we remember that it's hostile.
Yeah. All right. So with all of my extra turn actions out of the way, I believe I will pass on to Alvin.
Wow. Okay. So I will begin my turn, getting 3 gold. I'll go ahead and draw a card. All right. So we're in a bit of a pickle here. So I think the first thing I want to do is get back at that wolf for attacking me. So I'm going to spend 1 gold to play another restraining order.
Ah, you had it.
I sure did. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 gold to activate its ability. And then I'm going to go ahead and banish the Grey Wolf because he's hostile.
All right. Banished it is to the bottom of the deck with you.
That's right. And I lose my item in the process, but totally worth it, I think. I'll go ahead now and activate my farmer to gain myself another gold. Then I will go ahead and play my own killer bees. So watch out. I've got some deadly denizens on my side now. And then I'm going to go ahead
Sure.
and use my gold to activate schedule book once again. Look for some juicy cards. Ooh, okay. I think I will actually keep both of these on top, in fact. And then I will go ahead and abandon my Grand Fish Market to get that draw. All right, and do I want to attack? Honestly, not really. I kind of want my farmer to be around as much as possible. And hopefully I've sort of like scared you a little bit and made you not want to attack too much. I'm just going to go ahead and sit pretty and see what happens. I'll end the turn and pass it over to you, Nick.
All right. So we'll start my 4th turn by gaining 4 gold. Yeah, saying he keeps things on top of his deck there, could that be a bluff? Could he be gaming me? So it makes me nervous. All right, so I will take a free draw for the turn, and I am going to jump right into my turn by playing my champion. 3 gold.
Ooh, it's
Here comes
time.
Eldrian. Yeah. So Eldrian has an arrival ability I can use since he just came into play this turn, and it says to fetch a non-unique location card. So I will then look through my deck. Both of those fish markets hadn't already been used. That's what I'd be going right for. But I think what we'll pick is a statue of the Fierce Hunter. So I will reveal to you, statue of the Fierce Hunter, put it into my hand, then shuffle. Bonus for shuffling is my wolf might be closer to the top again.
Oh, true.
All right, then I'll play a location for the turn, another statue of the Fierce Hunter. And my statue of the Fierce Hunter will activate its arrival ability. And I am going to make Eldrian, my champion, just a little more healthy.
Ah, okay. Very nice.
That's right. All right, and one of the great things about Eldrian's arrival, where he fetches the locations, is I have this treasure hunter out who wanted me to find another one to play this turn. You can't activate Expedition unless you drop a location. So, having done that, I will gain 2 gold.
Look at that combo. Sick.
No. Love little things like that. But that statue has done a lot of work. It's going to do even more by abandoning. That's my abandon for the turn. Put it into the inactive zone, draw 1 card. All right, let's keep filling the board for 2 gold. I'll drop my own diligent farmer. Will activate his ability. You pay 1 gold to gain 2.
Very nice.
And finally, the last thing we do is we'll play an item, an adventurer's journal,
Whew.
for that last 2 gold. All right, I feel comfortable with my denizens in the way they are. They don't need to make an attack. I'm outnumbering him already. If he wants to do any attacks, that's on him. All right, and so after all that, I will end my turn, which will trigger Eldrian's second ability to score me the points. I've controlled the killer bees, the treasure hunter, and the other killer bees since the start of my turn, so that is 3 points for me.
You're on the board.
That will pass the turn to Alvin.
All right, so I will begin my turn, gaining myself 4 gold, and let me just observe this crazy board. So you're definitely outpacing me in points right now, so I think I'm going to try to do something to get more things on the board and try to match what you're doing. So first I'm going to take a free draw for the turn. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 4 gold to play Traveling Caravan. So Traveling Caravan has an arrival ability. It says, produce 3 settler tokens if you've abandoned a location this turn. Now, I'm going to go ahead and abandon my location to draw a card. And now I'm going to go ahead and activate Traveling Caravan's arrival ability to produce myself 3 settler tokens because I have abandoned the location this turn. 1, 2, and 3.
Wow, all at once. That's a party in a can, huh?
Oh, yeah. All right. And just to make sure that I'm still aligned to green, I'm going to go ahead and play another location, a wooded landscape. All right. So I've caught up a little bit, and I think I'm going to try to slow you down a little bit. So attacking is always a little bit risky, but if I know I'm going to lose my denizen in the process anyways, restraining order is not too scary. So I'm actually going to go ahead and have my killer bees here attacking to your treasure hunter. Go ahead and remove your guy. Because my killer bees was deadly, even though he only has one power, it's enough to remove the treasure hunter. So I'll go ahead and end my turn, pass it that way.
All right. Fifth turn, gain 5 gold. Start with my free action to draw a card. What will be the play this turn? I think I'll start by making some attacks. So I'll have my killer bees that have the bonus health attack into your farmer.
All right, so my farmer will be removed.
A marker on that. All right. Another thing we're going to do is going to have Eldrian make an attack into a settler.
Oh
So that's another
man.
another trade that we can take that doesn't cost us much. So he's hostile as well. I think that's all the attacks I'm going to make for this turn. So we're going to have the Diligent Farmer net 1 gold by paying 1 and going up 2. Then I'll use 3 of that to play a Treasure Hunter.
Another one. Oh, I just can't get away.
No. And then drop a location. So his expedition is now active. I have played a location. I will gain 2. Then I'll use the remaining 5 gold to play Early Pioneers, who also have an expedition just like the Treasure Hunter, but instead of gaining me gold, this one makes settler tokens. So yeah, I will activate that and then put some settlers into play. One more action to do. We will take our abandon for the turn. So I believe it'll be the fish market, put into the inactive zone to draw 1 card.
Nice.
I think those are all the actions I'll make. So I'll end my turn, where Eldrin will trigger, scoring me 1 point for each denizen that didn't enter play. So it looks like I have a lot, but it's still just the bees and the farmer. Everyone else joined the party this turn. All right, past Alvin.
Wonderful. All right, that is a crazy board you got there. So my turn 5, I'm going to go ahead and begin my turn. Let's see what I can do here. I'll use my free draw action, draw myself a card. All right. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and play my own Treasure Hunter for 3 gold. I'm sure we're all familiar with Treasure Hunter at this point, so all I'm going to try to do now is unlock its expedition to get some more gold. So I'll go ahead and play Verdant Path. And I'm not going to go ahead and use its arrival ability yet. I think you'll see why in a second. But I will go ahead and activate Treasure Hunter's expedition to gain myself 2 gold. All right, and I think it's time for my Eldrian to come into play. So I'm going to go ahead and play my champion for 3 gold. And I will go ahead and activate his arrival ability to fetch myself a location card. So let's go ahead and fetch myself a Grand Fish Market, a fan favorite.
Yeah.
All right. And then for 1 gold, I'm going to go ahead and activate my schedule book, looking at the top 2 cards of my deck. All right, so both of these I don't think are going to help me. So put those at the bottom. And then now I'm going to activate Verdant Path's arrival ability to look at the top card of my deck. And nope, that's not going to help me either, so I'm going to put that at the bottom. All right, and then now I'm going to go ahead and play my Grand Fish Market. And its arrival ability will now activate, letting me draw a card. And then I'm going to go ahead and abandon it to draw myself 1 more card. All right, that was a fun turn, but now it's time to cash out on some points. So I'm going to go ahead and end my turn, and that's going to trigger Eldrian's second ability. And for these 3 denizens that didn't enter my active zone this turn, he's going to score me 1 point for each of them. So that's 3 points, and now I too am on the board. I'll pass it over to you, Nick.
All right, start my 6th turn with gaining 6 gold. Take a free draw action. Okay, and before I get the ball rolling, we have some complicated attacks and things to make here, but I will do another abandon, and that'll be the Statue of the Fierce Hunter. That into the active zone to draw a card. Okay. I'll replace that location with another location, a Verdant Path. I will activate the arrival and look at the top 1 card of my deck. I think that's a fine enough one. We'll just leave it there. My Early Pioneers, all their might, is going to attack into your Verdant Path.
Wow, all right.
So will
4 damage.
Eldrian.
Whew.
That is a total of 6.
Yep.
So locations are things that you can attack. They have health, and removing them might help me keep him off of maybe some alignment in the future, so that maybe he has to pay alignment tax. Because since I'm ahead, I believe that I can just keep the ball rolling by maybe taxing him out. On top of that, another advantage you might gain is to sell that schedule book. So you may also attack items. They have health. So the settler over here, and this settler, and one of the bees will make an attack each into the schedule book.
Oh man, brutal.
These settlers are now hostile. I don't believe I'll attack with the gold generators. We'll just make an attack with the killer bees into your gold generator, because, like I was saying,
Yeah.
that's a kind of advantage that might bring you back.
All right, but
So-
this you will lose at least one denizen in the process.
Yes, the bees have to sacrifice themselves. All right, I've played this verdant path, so I may gain 2 gold from the treasure hunter's expedition. I will use the diligent farmer's ability to trade 1 gold for 2. So on top of trying to keep him down, I'm going to try to accrue as much value as I can, and I'm going to refill my hand. So I'm going to activate the exploration vessel's ability, pay 3 gold, and draw a card.
Very nice.
And that was so satisfying, I'm going to activate the adventurer's journal for another 2 gold to search for a non-unique location. Can you guess what it's going to be?
You
More
already...
exploration vessels.
Oh, you search for another one.
Yeah. So another 3 gold, and draw another card.
Oh, the value.
Yeah. All right, and after all this time, you've not made an attack that left something hostile. It's just been trades for you. So I will sell this restraining order into the inactive zone, go up 1 gold, and I did find 1 more denizen to join the party.
Another one. Oh man, too many wolves in these woods.
I know. You think you lose them, but they find their way back. All right, and with all of that, I end my turn, which will trigger Eldrian, who will see a large number of denizens sticking around. Bees, farmer, explorer, pioneers, settlers.
Wow,
Everything
6
goes through.
points. Crazy.
Yeah. All right. See what you can do. Pass back to you.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and begin my turn now, getting 6 gold. I'll go ahead and use my free draw action to draw a card. I'm going to go ahead and play Traveling Caravan. So we've seen this before. It's got the arrival ability, and it'll let me create 3 settler tokens as long as I've abandoned the location this turn. So before activating its arrival ability, I'm going to go ahead and abandon this location here, draw myself a card, and now I'll go ahead and activate it to produce myself 3 settler tokens. And then, for my last 2 gold, I too will play an Adventurer's Journal. And then I will end the turn, and Eldrian's second ability will trigger, scoring me 3 points for these 3 denizens that didn't enter my active zone this turn, bringing me up to 6 points. Alright, so for the sake of time, we'll stop there, because the purpose of this video is just to showcase the game rules in context to give you a better idea of how they work. But a game would normally continue until one of us scores 20 points, or until the end of the 10th turn cycle, whichever happens first. If a game ends with no one reaching 20 points, the player with the highest score wins. And that's it! You're now ready to start playing the game with your friends. If you don't already have a play group, you can find one easily on our Discord server. Link to that is in the video description. We look forward to seeing you there. Take care, everyone.